Welcome back. Today we're going through the best and worst tattoo TikToks I could find. This video is brought to you by TSC, Tattooer Supply Co. That is my own personal tattoo supply company. I'll talk more about it in just a moment, but let's get into it. Okay, let's talk about this Eye of Horus, I believe it's what it's called. It's got some music, so I can't play it, but even though he's talking to, is there anything you want to hear from this person who just got the Eye of Horus over his own eye? Is it the Eye of Horus? I'm so bad at that type of stuff. Yeah. Okay, you guys have eyes. I have eyes. Do you like that tattoo? No? Do you want that on your own eye? No. Is it a bad tattoo? Yes, I believe it is. Why? I guess it's technically applied well. It's in the skin, that's for sure. Placement, very weird. The fact that they didn't black it out on the top part, also kind of weird. But obviously, the least important criticism I can make on this one, I was just gonna make a statement about the internets and how the internet has corrupted your dumb little brains to think that an Eye of Horus should go on your own personal eye. But honestly, people have been doing dumb crap like this for a long time. You're not the first. You're not the last. I hate this. Everyone else looking at it hates this. And honestly, I just don't want to look at it any longer. On to the next. Okay, we got Bali Tats. I've criticized this guy in the past because he talks about money a lot. I'm not a huge fan of when tattooers are like, hey, this tattoo costs $148 bajillion. I'm not a big fan of that, honestly. This guy's done that a lot, but I'm gonna be talking about, him now.
Somebody in the comments said, a lot of detail missing here, man. Why are we rushing pieces like this? When I see these comments, I get sick to my fucking stomach listening to you bums that have no idea what you're talking about. This is what you call perfection, done over just 3 sessions. The guy came in, he knew what he wanted, Hendra sat him down, gave him a perfect design and a perfect execution. Mother Mary on the left, dove, filigree below, Jesus piece right in the center. I love the negative space border.
I hate you douchebag commenters making me agree with this also douchebag. Honestly, he's right. It is a beautiful tattoo. I can't say anything about it. If there's a comment saying that that's not perfect, you're an ass. And not only that, you're a ass, okay?
On the edge, just so you can see each piece, 1, 2, 3, and then the filigree at the bottom to cap it, the script up here. Like it's like sheer perfection, and you're talking garbage. You need to come here and see it for yourself. Because I don't know if the video is gonna do justice either. You're gonna talk some more. But we have a healed perfect.
Yeah, that's crazy. Look, hey, on the internet, people are gonna talk shit. I love it. It's great. It's what the internet is for. That comment right there was one of the dumber comments I've seen in a long time. Now, I'm not a black and gray daddy, but that's a very nice tattoo. And you guys made me agree with this guy who I normally would never agree with. But that back piece is damn near flawless. On to the next. Okay, this one has very little to do with tattoos. Let's watch this ferret bite the living crap out of this person's arm. You know what popped up into my head, as we watched this ferret just destroy this girl's arm? The whole time I was thinking, man, I hate noose tattoos. I just don't like them. And if you do like them, good for you. I just don't. I think the way that they're structured, also, they're just kind of a boring image and they kind of have to be big enough to make the row. I don't know. There's multiple things. But that ferret bit the living crap out of this lady. Lady or guy. Actually, I don't know. But it's enjoyable to watch. Anyways, on to the next. Okay, let's watch this one. Nobody talks about how hard it is to go from this to this. Closing of a tattoo shop. It's actually super common right now. And yeah, no one does talk about it because probably just something hard to talk about. Shops are closing in droves currently. And I get it because tattoo shops are not great businesses usually. A lot of times they're very expensive. Artists get the majority of the benefits a lot of the times. Not always, it's not always the case. But in my experience of owning a shop, my tattooers make more money than I make. If I'm not tattooing, my tattooers make more money. The shop is almost only there to exist so that they get to make money, and I get to make money every tattoo I make, and I get to collect a majority of that percentage. But yeah, tattoo shops are not like super great unless you really, really have it down dialed. But that's not what's interesting about this video. What was interesting to me about this video was what I read. And you know, it was a long, heartfelt thing. This tattooer is closing down a shop. That's got to be hard. But let's read a little part of it. I learned not to put trust in others, but in myself. To stay professional, keep boundaries, and never get too close to people you work with. That was a statement this tattooer made, and I think that, like, in my experience, part of that is true, and in my experience, it's completely false. Now, as a tattoo shop owner, I have to put a lot of faith in people that are not me. My manager, my tattooers, the shop hands, like, I have to put a lot of faith in these people to take care of it. And they usually do a good job of taking care of you if you do a good job of taking care of them. But then on the other hand, I have to put boundaries as a tattoo owner. You go, oh, tattooers are jabronis most of the time. They're idiots, myself included. And as a tattoo shop owner, you really got to keep your distance sometimes. You can't let those lines get too blurred, okay? You got to be careful. That is it. I think it's weird to not trust people if you're a business owner. It's going to be part of the job. And maybe that, in some ways, I bet that led to unhappiness for sure. Maybe not to the downfall, but definitely unhappiness. On to the next. Okay, I'm going to read this. I'm going to try and keep up, okay? Tattoos need to be expensive for the client. We shouldn't forget that the tattoos are permanent. It changes literally on the body forever, changes the way people perceive themselves in the mirror every day for the rest of their lives. It also changes how the world sees them. So think twice. Tattoos should hurt them, and it should make them think twice. This is all paraphrasing. I'm trying to get through it. These things are never that easy to do. Tattoos would be cheap and easy. People would just run around making impulsive decisions to wake up the next day regretting it for the rest of their lives. The price is protection for both sides, the artist's integrity and the client's future self, permanent changes. Okay, you get the gist. She's like, tattoo prices stop you from making hasty decisions. Well, I'm sorry, but anybody can get a super cheap tattoo out there. Absolutely. Most people aren't making good tattoo decisions based off of the price, okay? That is dumb. I could go anywhere in the world and find a very expensive tattoo and a very cheap tattoo. It's not protection. That's not stopping people from making those decisions. Now, if you were like, hey, the price shows you how good the quality is, that's a better argument, still a very bad argument because we see tattoos that are extremely expensive that are just bad quality. But I get something. There's something she's saying, and she's saying like, hey, the tattoos shouldn't be like super easy thing to do. And I'm like, okay, fine. But I also think it's just an excuse to charge whatever you want, you know? It's like, just because they had to think about it longer because of the finances, like if you're like, okay, I have to put a down payment on this tattoo, you're gonna think about that tattoo a little bit longer. It's not like you're protecting yourself from regretting tattoos. It just means you're probably gonna think about the price more. That's it. You're gonna be like, is this worth it? Is it not worth it? That's the pause. The pause isn't like, oh, is this tattoo? Whatever. You get the point. I think that people will justify the prices of tattoos however they want. And literally, if you want to charge an astronomical amount of money for a tattoo, you better have an astronomical amount of people wanting to get tattooed by you. Supply, demand. That's the only thing that should really affect your tattooing. Anything more than that, I go lame. And even then I'm like, okay, there's a limit to it. And it also is like, how many people at that price point actually want to get tattooed by you? That's supply and demand, right? I would be booked out for the rest of my life if I was charging $10 a tattoo. 100%. You would be coming to me every third week in a row. You'd be like, bam, 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 do full sleeves. But if I say, hey, my tattoos cost $500, the demand drops off much faster, right? How many people want to get tattooed to you at the price that you're quoting them? That's the only thing that should change or determine what the price of a tattoo really is. On to the next.
These tattoos used to be stars, but this color blue bleeds or bled on my skin, so now they're just dots. But I have core.
Okay, I'm gonna pause it right there. We all heard what she said. She said, these used to be stars. This type of blue bleeds. Now, unfortunately, it is not that type of blue as much as it is her type of skin, which is old lady skin. Yeah, that's gonna happen when you got old lady skin, unfortunately. The stars will become dots. The dots will become dots. Dots will become even bigger dots. Unfortunately, that's the nature of tattooing. What begins as a this, ends as a this, and that's just the kind of nature of this whole thing. What was interesting to me was the way she was like, this color of blue bleeds. And it says, people always say statements like that that are kind of true because it's like, yeah, that color did bleed into her skin, but it's not because of the color as much as it's just her old skinny armsness, you know? They're like, hey, you got old lady skin. That's what happens with old lady skin occasionally. Let's listen to more.
Tattoos used to be stars, but this color blue bleeds, or it bled on my skin, so now they're just dots. But I have Corvus and Columba, so I have a crow and a dove. So they're like my boxing gloves.
Okay, someone should have told this lady, hey, there's like a 99% chance those stars are gonna be dots within 3 minutes because your skin type is old. You know, you got a blood type, you got a skin type, and hers is old. That is the skin type she's got. Mine, middle-aged. That's my skin type. Not old, not young, somewhere in the middle, way too burnt out from the sun. When I'm 70, you think anyone's gonna be able to pull a clean line on my arms? Hell nah. Okay? That's the nature of life. Na 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 na. Don't know what that has to do with anything, but you should know. That's the way it goes. I'm gonna stop you right there. We have just launched a tattoo supply company called TSC Tattoo Supply Co. We are a member-only tattoo supply company. You have to join. It costs $100. You get 10% off of all tattoo supplies for the rest of your life. But right now, until we officially launch in January or February, we are doing a deal, $50. You join for life. You never have to pay again. 10% off tattoo supplies for the rest of your life. Gloves, inks, needles, all the stuff you normally buy, we will sell you for 10% off. If you want to join early, here's a QR code. There is a link in the bio. We appreciate it. The earlier you join, the more I know exactly how much supplies I got to give you guys. Okay? Keep enjoying the rest of the show.
Imagine if getting a tattoo wasn't an intimidating experience. Well, Tiny Zaps is going to completely disrupt the tattoo industry. We need to talk about it. So not everyone wants to get a tattoo in a place that looks like this. And with the rising trend of tiny tattoos, that inspired the tattoo artist veteran Bruno Levy to create Tiny Zaps, a 10-minute tech-enabled tiny tattoo company that feels like a place that you could get your first or 100th tattoo. And what's super cool about Tiny Zaps is the experience.
What's super cool? Okay, I've seen enough. It's what, like $100 for a little tiny tat, 10% off. You know, the more you get tattooed, these little chingadera tats, the cheaper it gets. Look, is this gonna change tattooing? I don't think so. Is it anything really interesting in tattooing? I don't think so. These are just little pork chop, walk-in tattoo shop. They're like marketing for a walk-in shop. I don't know. I'm like, huh? What's special about that? Don't know. You could literally walk into any place in the world and get a little tiny zapper for probably $100. Go to your local tattoo shop where they have people who will work at a real tattoo shop, and I'm sure they're gonna take care of you for a very good price and give you a very high quality tattoo. Doesn't matter what little marketing you do for your tat shack, it's still just like a little walk-in shop. On to the next.
What the f happened to all the clients? What the f? I'm not as booked out. People don't hit me up. People are not hitting me up no more. It's just like, wow, people have more options. It's just like with the chicks. Like with chicks now, before you see dudes pull all kinds of chicks. The chicks know what the fuck's out there now. The chicks know that there's a gang of fools that got money. There's a gang of buff fools. There's a gang of fools that'll treat them good. They know they got options. The clients know they got options too, dude. You ain't the only motherfucker that's good at tattooing. There's a bunch of other dudes that are better than you and cooler than you. You have two options. You could sit on the sideline and talk shit, or you could be like, you know what, I'm gonna revamp my shit and I'm gonna get back into this game, dude, and I'm gonna smash on everyone. Some people's pages, is like you go on their page and you're like, they haven't posted in like a year, or you know, it's just this shit doesn't look inviting, dude. And the stories, the highlights, the lighting on their pictures, go on your shit and be like, would I get tattooed by this person if I went on that? And be honest with yourself. I felt like I kind of had to put the camera down for a little bit. And during that time, the little bit from me not posting for like those 2-3 months, you notice it on your booking. People are not hitting you up as much because your page is not really.
Okay, this is a guy named Bogus Tattoo. I don't even know him. What he said is very poetic. Look, tattooing is slow, but you know what? When you put motivational shit in the mouth of a Chicano fool who's all jacked, I go, yeah, makes sense. Chicks, things, yeah, I'm in. Yeah, there you go. Bogus underscore tattoo. Don't know him. I like what he had to say. It was more funner to hear it from him than some, I don't know, some like, not me. If I go, you better be on your grind. You kind of go like, Kirk, that's not your style. And I go, yeah, I know, that's not my style. On to the next. Okay, we got some good tattooing. You might not like it, and I respect you for not liking it, but that means you're an idiot. This is some Tahitian style tattooing. They do the face up beautifully, like just super rock solid. I'm in, I'm game, I like it. I love the way it looks, so rock solid. If you are into good tattoos, then you are into this. New Tim Sherry's? Let me make sure that that's the right person. I've seen his work before. I loved it then. I love it now. Blacking out faces looks so tough. New Tim Harry's. It also looks good on him. Very cool. I wish I was Tahitian so I could get it done on my face. Big black blocks. Awesome. Beautiful work. Next. Okay, an optical illusion. That's what I'm looking at. I know what this ends up being, and it says illusion skull tattoo right there, but it don't look like a skull to me. It looks like a very veiny pecker. Very veiny pecker. Let's look at it. Yeah, looks like a pecker. Why would you do that to your client? So that they can walk around, look at my new tattoo. Don't look at it like this. Look at it like this. Yeah, very bad. Why you would do that to your client, I don't understand. That's a cover-up waiting to happen. But what are we even looking at? On to the next. Okay, I saw this video go viral. I wanted to see it. I wanted to talk about it because he's talking about tattooers going viral, which could be me. Could be talking about me. I've gone viral once or twice. Let's listen to it.
Right, what's the point of going viral and getting 1 million people to see your video if they then go onto your page and see it's all dog shit? They're gonna just see that you're a funny person or whatever, but they're not gonna get tattooed by you. Yeah, you might get like 10,000 followers from around the world, but how much of that translates into people actually booking in with you? 1%, you know? Like the people that actually might book in with you that are serious about art, they're the ones that are like, oh, I don't.
Okay, I'm gonna pause it right there for a second. Look, if you're a tattooer out there and you gain 10,000 new subscribers and 1% of those new followers converts to clients, that's 100 new clients from 10,000 new followers. Using his basic math, which is super dumb. So if his point is that going viral doesn't benefit you, I think 100 new customers does. Okay, I think I know the point that this tattooer is trying to make. He's like, hey, going viral isn't the most important thing, and it's not. But as a tattooer who was not going viral or making content 5 years ago, making videos has changed my life and my tattooing life forever, okay? If you're a tattooer out there and you find some sort of success on social media, I hope to God you use it well. I hope it carries you for a long time. That was stupid. That was a dumb intro. If you break it down, you're like, bro, all of us could use 100 new customers.
I want to watch this person fucking dance and do this shit, and they unfollow you. So you're almost getting rid of the people that want to get tattooed by you to get more followers from people around the world that never get tattooed by you. If you actually just concentrate on getting good at tattooing and get a local following and do local art shows and do local guest spots and get your name out locally, then more people from your area are going to see you and want to get tattooed by you. Work fucking hard and continue to do that for a long time. Keep being consistent, get better, and then eventually, it might take you 10 years, but you'll get there.
Some of the worst advice, not because the advice is bad, but the way he's saying it makes no sense. I get that old tattooers don't love that new young kids are getting a camera and then getting a lot of followers, and they don't like that can convert into clients, but it does, okay? For all you old heads, all you young heads, any amount of success on the internet can lead you to a great career, maybe even faster than working hard. Unfortunately, that's true. It works better if you have worked hard and are doing social media and, blah, 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 blah. But it's just one of those things. That makes no sense. Now, look at Ariel DeJesus. does crappy tattoos, gets tons of views, continues to do crappy tattoos. That is where I will leave you today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you're a tattooer and you want to get the supplies you always get, go to the link in the bio, TSC, Tattoo Supply Co. You can get a membership for $50, 10% off for the rest of your life. I'll see you in a few days.